As mentioned earlier, you have the option to take a split break instead of a full consecutive 10-hour break in order to get part of your hours back on the 11-hour and 14-hour rules. A split break allows the 10-hour rest break to be split into 2 rest periods, one 8-hour break on line 2 and one 2-hour break on lines 1 or 2. Let's take a look at how to calculate split breaks. The first step is to get your detailed log from the Day Log tab on your MCP200. Note, once you pull up your detailed log, it will look like this. You can use the scroll arrows on the right-hand side to scroll up and down through each log record. However, to better illustrate how to calculate a split break, we have pulled all the information from this day log and put it into one table so you can better understand how the process works. The next step is to identify the 2 breaks that make up the split break. In this example, you'll find the 8-hour break on line 2 first, followed by the 2-hour break on line 1. When determining how much time you have remaining on your 11-hour clock, it doesn't matter which break, the 8-hour or the 2-hour, comes first. Now add together all of the drive or line 3 time between the 2 breaks. In this example, there was 5 hours and 15 minutes of line 3 time between the 2 breaks. Finally, when determining how much time is left on your 11-hour rule, subtract the total line 3 time from 11. 11 hours minus 5 hours and 15 minutes equals 5 hours and 45 minutes. So, in this example, the driver has 5 hours and 45 minutes remaining on their 11-hour rule after the split break. Now, let's look at how you determine how much time is left on your 14-hour rule after a split break. Unlike the 11-hour rule, your remaining time is calculated differently depending on if you take the 8-hour or the 2-hour break first. We'll use the same example as before to show how to calculate your remaining hours if you take the 8-hour break first. Step 1. Get your detailed log from the Day Log tab on your MCP200. Again, for the purpose of illustrating this example, we have pulled all the information from this day log and put it into one table. Next, identify the 2 breaks that make up the split break. Now, add together all of the time between the 2 breaks, including the 2-hour break. In this example, there was 8 hours and 45 minutes of time. Finally, subtract the total time from 14. 14 hours minus 8 hours and 45 minutes equals 5 hours and 15 minutes. So the driver has 5 hours and 15 minutes remaining on their 14-hour rule after the split break. Remember, you won't receive your hours back until the second rest break period is complete. It's a slightly different process to calculate your remaining hours if you take the 2-hour break first. If this is the case, step number 3 will change. At step number 3, you'll need to add together all of the time between the 2 breaks, not including the 2-hour break. So in the earlier example, if the driver takes their 2-hour break first, there was 6 hours and 15 minutes of time between the 2 breaks. 14 hours minus 6 hours and 15 minutes equals 7 hours and 45 minutes. So when the driver takes the 2-hour break first, they have 7 hours and 45 minutes remaining on their 14-hour rule after the split break.